Greater light, greater love and light. I'm gonna get this started quickly. Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly. It has been a long day, a long day, like Madonna's long days. Huh? Anybody know that song? Madonna's Long Day. It's been a long day. Yep. hmm I'm in a form of preparation, and I want those who have been a part of this journey to take the journey with me to the 810 portal. Uh, through the 810 portal. This is how it's going to go. There's, okay, this message first, before I get into the uh, my norm and my recall of my acclamation, I want to say there could be a point where his name is never cleared. Take it from someone like me, 33 years, the ones that could clear my name will not come forth. So that is why I say what I said when I said it. You'll just be in a cycle, continuing cycle. If the mothers do not come forth, it doesn't matter what you do or say or how much information you put out there, that name will not come, his name will not be cleared, because it's up to the mothers. It is up to the mothers to come forth and stand in union. That's all I have to say to that. I'm not going to go into any further details than that. Now, I went and looked at the root word of give and noticed a binding spell that I put over myself with a terminology that I use even in my emails that says never give up. And something today told me to look at the etymology of and the root of give. But once I started doing that between AI and she kept pushing a particular name for me to go to that I'd never paid attention to, but it was a name of a demon. And so I'm going to go over that today. I'm going to go over that name today. And another thing with my uh, response to the August 10th portal is that forget it. I'm not going to go into any more details than that. I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm almost certain that I can transition or will transition in the portal of the August 10th portal. Almost certain. No, no Jim Jones juice. Uh, I am not suicidal. Nothing like that. It's just I'm almost certain. What is almost? I'm almost certain that I can push through that August 10th portal. I can transition. What that transition will be, I'm not sure of what that transition will be. And I'm doing a preparation for my future ancient ones as if it may be a transition in flesh. I'm not sure. I know that I am to transition through that portal, that opening when it happens. Now there's two significant dates. There's the July 27th, whatever is supposed to happen around July 27th, and then that portal date opening for no one else in the world but me. Now, if by some chance, nope, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to take this journey with me. Take this journey with. I don't have to do anything besides exercise. How did I come to that conclusion? Okay, from 2010, when they signed off and released me from the system, supposedly closing my case, but keeping their research and development and close eye on me. From the time they closed my case, that's when my transitions of blood transfusions and stuff began, and research and development, me going in and out of cancer institutes and um, long phases of research, and then into a surgery, and then into another surgery, and things of that sort. But I noticed that every time I went into a phase of activating my body into what is supposed to be the picture perfect health regimen for the average man or woman, that's when my body does a crash. Like, I'll lose the weight and everything, but my body does a crash and I have to go into the hospital every single time. I did it came to me yesterday because, again, I keep saying, well, I'm doing all the things that I need to do. It just seems like my body is on lock mode. So exercising pushes my system into an overload where they, or whatever happens, makes me have to go into the emergency room or ER or whatever, and then I'm kept for a few days every single time. Every single time, it never fails. The time that I started boxing, I remember when, even around 2012, 13, when I came in with the Nawapians, the two messengers, and changed my whole health regimen and everything. And everything was going good. And all of a sudden, there was this period of almost 4 or 5 days where I literally almost died inside of that house. But I didn't go to the hospital then. Nope, I did. I had to go get a blood transfusion. Maybe a week or two later, I had to get a blood transfusion. And I started going to St. Joseph's research, St. Joseph Candler's research and development, their cancer institute. Same thing happened while I was out there roaming in the wilderness, and my body, the everything, like, I was able to move fluently, everything going in. All of a sudden, I had to keep going back to the emergency room for elevated blood pressure of over 200 and something. And each time what happens is they keep me a few days. This happened in 2015. Same thing happened in 2015. And this happened around the 4th of July in 2015. And whatever happened, and they kept me for a few days and then released me. Same thing happened when I was on the road as a truck driver. I changed my eating habits. I was actually posting it online, and I start every day before I drove and after I should before I shut down, I would start walking laps and changed my habits so that I would be more productive on the road. And what happened is in a point at a point I was in Virginia, and they I had to pull the truck off the side of the road, and and, and then I was admitted into the Bon Secure hospital. I told that story where during that surgery they had to resuscitate me. They had to they did the resuscitation. They removed my gallbladder, and on the train I had to take a train from there. I couldn't get back on the road, so I took a train from there to South Carolina. And on the train, there was three beings that were like just seemed weird. It just seemed like, again, because I just still was coming fresh out of that surgery, just had to be resuscitated. I was in between some type of weird, strange realm. And on this ride from South Carolina, there were three individuals that was just seemed out of place. There was one older white man with a suitcase, looked like the suitcase had to be about 90 years old. And he made his way to talk to me because of how I was answering the questions on Jeopardy. And then when I got on the train, there was another guy that was trying to keep my attention that looked like the Legba, that looked like him. He was tall. He had on like a top hat. He was dressed weird, very dark skin. And then the next person was a guy that just looked like an average guy, but he had on red and black. And he pushed me into the corner. He could have sat anywhere. But now I'm fresh out of this surgery, still in pain, needed to stretch my legs out. And he, like, his whole purpose was to have me pushed up in the corner. And in between the conversation between the older white man that was who actually wrote his name down and told me about a book to read, the Darwin's Black Book. So I told y'all about this story, but that was another time that I start working my body and then ended up having to go into some type of hospital or research format where they can cut on me or put me to sleep or take my blood. Okay. All right. So the last time I've had any type of blood transfusion or anything like that, I refuse. I refuse. It's like when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. Was when I was offered blood through Lazarus Lamel, the Messiah Code. And that was 2018 or 17. But my last time at the emergency room was last year while I was in the wilderness, and my blood pressure wouldn't go down. As a matter of fact, I did a short. It's in the short. And no, that wasn't the last time. The last time was when Mr. Smith went with me. He met me there, and the one of the nurses or whatever she was trying to make it mandatory that I got tested for COVID, and I was like, "No, no, you're not testing me or giving me anything. Nah, I'm good. And that's not why I'm here." So, okay, enough of that. Now let me get into my acclamation. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity, hey there, Mr. Smith, the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm, knowing that God would find or supply the perfect solution to every single one of my needs. Hey there, Mr. Smith. Yes, it's so good to see you. You know, I did push that button to see if you'd come over here. I was going to call you, but I said 30 days. And every time I look at the phone and get ready to dial the number so I can hear your voice, like I put my own self on punishment. Like I put my own self on punishment. I keep looking at the phone and saying, "Yep, go ahead, dial the number, dial the number." Nope, I told him I felt some type of way, and he wouldn't hear from me for 30 days. Huh? So I put my own self on punishment, and it is punishing. Uh, I miss your tone. I do. I do. All right. So now let me get into that August 10th portal. This August 10th portal. So let's go over some things that happened around August 10th. Most of you know about when I was posting about August 10th in code on my stream. I think even in my banners. See this banner right here. Watch this. Nebula starships are currently in the atmosphere. They still are. And under the sea, 1972, August 10th, the Grand Teton returned. July 24, 2022, the same fleet of 1976. The DART by NASA is War Initiation Modular, a direct attack against risk rising in you. So when that grand grand great ball of fire came through on August 10th, 1972, they predicted that it would come back around um, in 1979, and they haven't seen it. And when I was downloaded with information about it or uploaded with information about it, it was connected to me because my stepfather, that is his portal date. So I'm almost certain that it's going to come around this year because this is the 52 years and of the 1972 portal. And because I'm the only one focused on it, I'm again just as certain as I can be that I can transition through space and time at this portal date in mind. I don't know if it's gonna do anything to my flesh. That part I'm not aware and have, but it's like just like it's like when you know what you know what you know. So again, if that's you, Mr. Smith, it just came back in. I just wanted to say again, yes. Thank you for coming through. Uh, I really want to take myself off of punishment and call you so I can hear your tone. But since you made it over here, thank you. Uh, all right, back to what I was reading. So, which things or events happened in August 10th that is significant for me to know? There's the battlefield of Lechfield, the Ottoman Empire. They defeat the Mags. Look at how much coverage of what they defeated. Look how much look at how much coverage. Do you see this? Look at the coverage of what they supposedly defeated. The Ottoman Empire, the Mags. Wow. Okay. Let's look at his face. Who's this on this coin? Look at the being on their coin. Look at that. Look at his face. That ain't no man. That isn't a man. Is that a man? And what is he holding there? Is he holding the moon, the sun? What is that on that coin? Am I sharing the screen? What is that on that coin? All right, well, that's important, but not as important as me focusing on the date of the August 10th. Now, you see this dookie? I was just making a joke about the dookie in my mind before I came on here. Why is that? Because the name that artificial intelligence gave me when I was trying to find out about the word give is Ashmodius or Ashmod AI. Ashmod AI. And the thing about that is connected to a name or a group of people or a person or an individual in Federal Register called the Grand Duke. I'm not making this up. I'm not exaggerating. The Grand Duke of Luxembourg. Let me put it in the chat. The Grand Duke of Luxembourg. There it is. So see this name here. I'm remember all of this has to do with the August 10th portal. So see, Otto inherit Duchy of Saxony, but Dushiwa. Uh-huh. This a Dushiwa. So anybody coming around with their name having a douchey in it, or a dookie in it. Dukes. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Look, 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 look. Look at this. Look at their portrayal of trying to snatch the essence of Christ. The Ottomans. Look at that. Okay. The Ottomans. The Ottomans. This ain't the best part of it. I'm not going to stay on here long. I'm just showing some of the things connected to, what did it say about the sun? Some of the things connected to divine right to rule. I saw something about the sun. S-U-N, not S-O-N like it has here. Peace treaty. They had a peace treaty. Look at that crown again. Pope John Ottomans. Crown him. Otto named his 6-year-old son Otto, heir of the parent Lombard Magdeburger Reiter. Uh-oh, look at the checkerboard there. What's that? Magdeburg Cathedral. Otto presents. That's ivory. The Tusker elephants to create that. Or it might have been human teeth. Hmm. Might have been human teeth. You know, your teeth are ivory, ebony and ivory. Look at this. Okay. All right, let me get back out. So, Otto the Great. So, one of the things that happened in on the August 10th portal is the Ottomans, which that's a beast on the coin. This is a beast on the coin. Defeats the Magyars. And look at the territories that they're talking about. How are they going and scattering over the territories like that? Okay, then you have the Battle of Maldon, the Mal and the Dons, and there's the 991 Vikings near in Maldon, Essex. Silver Parish on the Black Water. Everything about, look at that, the Maldon sea salt. Okay. Then in 1030, there was the Battle of Azaz. Now, let's see. They're on horses, Syrian town. Let me see this picture. Let me blow this picture up. It's the mierda seed. There's a blue horse, there's a white horse. He's in all black. So it look like they destroyed a ruler. and they escape. But look how many of them are only on 4 horses. And these, they have turbans on their heads. Okay. Drive the Byzantites to flight at Azazion. The Arabs drive them to fight. So that was that battle. And in Spanish, mierda is God, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Antioch, July 1030. There's that 13. All right. Come out of that. Am I sharing the right screen? Yeah. All right. So there was that battle. Then there's another battle. Look at the green. Ethiopia. Yekona Amlek takes the imperial throne of Ethiopia, restoring Solomonic dynasty to power after 100 years. Look at that map there. Wait a minute. Wait. Where is that map? The Sea of Etra, the Gulf of Aden, Tunasana, the Christian territories during the Zagwe dynasty. But this is a sea right here, and then this is an island. But this looks like land cutting into it. Where is this at? Falasha and pagan areas. Oh, I'll come back to that another time. I don't know how much time I can give myself on this research here. The interregnum is a period of discontent. Okay. It's a gap in time. That's a gap in time. Okay. What is it saying here? Additionally, the term has been applied to United States presidential transition, the period of time between the election of a U.S. president and his or her inauguration, during which an outgoing president remains in power, but as a lame duck. Oh, okay. All right. So we're in this point in time right now. So we're in a time and position where we have a lame duck. Okay. What else happened in August 10th portal? Second Battle of Athenry. August 10th, 1316, during the Bruce campaign in Ireland. fields of Athrene. The Bruce Campaign was a 3-year military campaign in Ireland by Edward Bruce, brother of Scottish King Robert the Bruce. It lasted from his landing at Lame in 13. Why does it say landing? See there? What? No, they want to say his land or his castle. No, it says landing. From his landing at Lame in 1315 to his defeat and death in 1318 in the Battle of Foghart in County Louth. It was part of the First War of some native Irish leaders also asked him to send an army to help drive out the Anglo-Normans out of Ireland, offering a crown to his brother, High King of Ireland. Another reason for the expedition. But see, if you look at the way they say this, the Anglo-Normans and the native that were there wanted the Anglos removed. And then Bruce landed in, what does it say? Bruce landed. What year did he land? 1315. This August 10th portal. Let's see what else in this August 10th portal. Juame Ferrer. See, there's the fair, the FER, the pharaohs, or the iron. This is an iron being, but it says River of Gold. The Majorcan sailor and explorer. He sailed from Majorca on August 10th, 1346 to find the legendary River of Gold, but the outcome of his quest and his fate are unknown. He is memorialized as a native in the city of Palma, Majorca. The Mediterranean Sea. And you know, that's what they research on me, my Mediterranean Sea blood. The Senegal River in West Africa. So he set out to find the River of Gold, and they don't know what happened to him. He's recorded to do this and was recorded the Catalan Atlas, but they don't know what happened to him. Meaning what? Did he transition into the Mediterranean and Black Sea? Look at the heart in the ocean on this map. Another portal of the Catalan Atlas. The Catalan Atlas of 1375. Jaume Ferrer. Neferrer. Najume Neferrer. They say they don't know what happened to him, but they got all this information about him, huh? River of Oro. The Grand Cote. St. Louis. With at the border, the Dakai, the border of the Mauritania at St. Louis. Ooh, the Western Nile. The River of Gold frequently spoken by trans-Sahara, the Sahara traders, flowed into the heart of the Mali Empire. Vedamel, Wad al Mal, River of Treasure, Wadu, Wad al Mal, River of Treasure. Okay, what else in the August 10th portal? 1512, the naval battle of St. Matthew, 22 ships, the Franco-Breton fleet, the War of the League of Cambrai or Cambrai, the War of the Holy League, and several other names. Y'all, August 10th portal. The August 10th portal, War of the Holy League, and several other names was fought from February 1508 to December 1516 as part of the Italian Wars. If that's when it started, why is it under the August 10th portal? If it started in February, why is it under the August 10th portal? Mm, 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 mm. Okay. The leagues. Here are the holy leagues. Well, y'all holy leagues and you Dookie Yorks, I mean Dookie Grand Dookies and all that, y'all get ready. I don't even have to let the world know anymore about being ready. They know what time it is. Uh Everybody always talking about Pope for dead, talking about one Pope when it's a whole league of them, y'all. They got a league, legions of demons. The leagues of the Cambria sees the simultaneous destruction of the Breton ship La Cordiale, Cordialaire, and the English ship the Regent and Kathy Lee, huh? What else? 1519. Trinidad, the Magellan. 5 ships set sail from Seville to circumnavigate the globe. The Bass second in command, Juan Sebastian Elcano, the Elcane. He was born of the crown of the steels and the canes. He was another Tubal-Cain. Battle of St. Quentin. Duke Emmanuel Filbert. Italian War. And the Treaty of Non-Such. Who are the non-suches? Non-such a thing. Elizabeth I of England and the Dutch rebels. Conflict in the Harrisburg, Netherlands between desperate groups of rebels and Spanish government, reformation, centralization, excessive taxation, and rights and privileges. The Treaty of Non as such. What is a non as such? I'm not looking that up right now. I just want to go over this portal, this August 10th portal that is reopening. It hasn't opened since 1972. It's 52 years later. I don't know if that's significant, but I will look that up. I know it is. I know for a fact it is. I know within my DNA code it is, but I just don't know how significant it is. Uh, it's just uploaded to me to focus on. Yes, a lot of things that I could be doing like I did today. Spent a lot of time on man's time, realizing that I am the key. Uh, Meaning not like I'm the key and nobody else is. Meaning when you know your steps are ordered, and let's say I go by some of the developers on YouTube, some of the streamers that say, uh, you came here by choice. You know, a lot of them like to say that you came here by choice. So if I came here by choice and it was prophesied that when I transition, the whole world is going to tremble and shake and everybody will know that God is God. God is who he say he is, that I'm one of the witnesses. It's not just privy to me that it's going to happen like that, but I am one of those beings. The same way that when my son transitioned, the towers fell. No matter what other simulation was created around that, when I got the message and received the message that my son was killed, the towers fell. And it's going to be just as the same when I transition. But listening to the beings throughout the communities that like to say little things like that, you came here by choice, when I know I didn't come by choice. But if that be the case, it's my attempt to go ahead and leave on a portal date that was just downloaded to me. Transition. Now again, I'm not saying this transition is anything that I can even imagine, but I know that it is a doorway and a gateway and an opening that happened 52 years ago. And they have not been able to predict that that would come back around. But I know that it is coming back. It's on its way, like right now. It is on it's on its way. If it escapes Earth, it will escape Earth. But it is coming back for some people or some beings. And I'm almost I want to say perfectly sure that I'm not supposed to miss it when it comes around this time. I'm just saying. So it's not me saying that I'm going to do anything to go on there or be uploaded when it passes by. I'm just saying I'm one of the people that's supposed to, or one of the beings that is supposed to catch it when it come. They've been waiting. They haven't been able to predict. They still trying to find it. But I'm telling you that it's on its way. Now, the events that happen around the 27th of July, It's time for people to go into your state of connecting with your inner being and turning on the light codes that Christ have implanted in your DNA code to remind you that you are a native of the kingdom of heaven. He didn't come here to convince you. He didn't come here to persuade you. He left codes. The codes is in your DNA, huh? And it's going to be turned on for some. For those who have not been born again, you still have spiritual things that have you locked and trapped into the realm, like things that are not at like God, especially the things that are written that are not like God, the secrets, lies, uh, lustful ways, envy, and all of these things. This is not me judging, pointing fingers, or nothing. This is what the word says. Your pathway won't be clear for you to go when it comes. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Ah, oh, goodness. Oh, whew. All right, let me continue. Let me continue. What else happened? Oh boy. 1628, the Swedish warship Vasa sinks her maiden ship voyage of Stockholm out of Sweden. Vasa sinks. That's a beauty. Treaty of London between England and Scotland ends the Bishop Wars in 1651. The American Civil War, troops defeated and outnumbered. It seemed like the 810 portal is always about wars. World War II, Battle of Guam comes to an effective end in 1944. The Battle of Narva ends with defensive Germany victory in 1944. The Japanese government sends a message from aliens in the Potsdam Declaration saying don't compromise. The candid camera comes on in 1948 after being on radio for a year as the candid microphone. They were secretly recording conversations of people way back in 1947, CBS and ABC. So you don't think that they secretly recording people now? Smile, you're on candid camera, huh? Messina, New York, groundbreaking ceremony of St. Lawrence Seaway. Vietnam War begins. Oh boy. Son of Sam arrested. Oh goodness, look at all this. South Africa, Horizon Air. 1 million people are evacuated in 2019 for typhoon leukemia. Where were they evacuated to? Where did they go? Derecho in Ohio. Iowa becomes the most costly thunderstorm disaster in U.S. history in 2020. They still go there for tourism, though. How quick did they rebuild? How quick did they rebuild? All right, I'm gonna skip all this because I want to get into the being that what's her name told me about. The great teton that I keep telling y'all about of August 10th. This is the information. You can go and look it up for yourself. This isn't the first time that I've talked about it. Um, the Great Daylight Fireball, also known as the Grand Teton Meteor, was an grazing fireball that passed within 57 kilometers of Earth's surface at 2029 on August 10th, 1972. It entered Earth's atmosphere at a speed of 15 kilometers per second in daylight over Utah, United States, 2:30 local time, and passed northwards, leaving the atmosphere of Alberta, Canada. It was seen by many people and recorded on film and by spaceborne sensors. And eyewitnesses to the event located in Mut'Awuhu, Montana, saw the object pass directly overhead and heard a double sonic boom. The smoke trail lingered in the atmosphere for several minutes. The atmosphere pass modified the object's mass and orbit around the sun. In 1994, the study found that it is probably still in an Earth crossing orbit and predicted that it would pass close to Earth again in August 1997. However, the object has not been observed again, and so its post encounter orbit remains unknown. And I'm telling you that it is on its way right now. See, when I first started talking about it, I didn't tell y'all it was on its way. I just let you know how important it was. And you could go back to the lives that I did where I have that date. See, that's scrolling up under the screen. We know the ships are out there. They keep showing it in their technology. What do you mean? I mean, if Jesus is coming with a city, if God is coming with a kingdom, and then it is predicted that there's going to be war between Gog and Magog. They setting up with their what do you call it? Space Force and their guardians of the spirit. Hey, do you know that United States has a guardian of the spirit force? This isn't something new that I'm talking about. I talked about this years ago. Spirit force, but a lot of people still are not aware. What is the purpose of a guardian of the spirit force? And the guardian of the spirit force is above space force. Why are the taxpayers' dollars paying for a guardian of the spirit force? So if there is going to be war between, and God is coming with a kingdom, and technology that man has is so finite, it is so uh out of date or touch with God. God allows you access to so much technology and information. And if when God is coming with the kingdom, or the ships are coming in, okay, if there's a kingdom with measurements, you don't believe or would believe that the technology that he sends beforehand with the angels or the sickles and all the things that we read about in scripture, that there wouldn't be ships aligned. or you just feel like the angels are just going to be not guarded up in anything. They're going to be sending laser shots. They're going to be doing everything to try to protect and fight to the last because they feel like they're going to win because the devil has convinced them that they could and would. Which devil? I'm going to go over the devil, but let me finish reading about the great ball that they still haven't figured out when it's coming back around with all their technology. It is on its way. They didn't know it was coming when it came the first time, when it came in 1972. Analysis of its appearance, there's that word. I'm not analytical. I'm rightly divided word of God, the living word. Ain't nothing analytical about that. There's somebody close to me used the word analytical, and in my mind, I agreed. I just smiled on the other side of the phone, and I said, if you knew what analytical meant, you wouldn't even be using that word in these last days. Analytical is for the ones who are so attached to Gog and Magog, the ones who want to engineer scenarios and things and be secretive about it, because with analytics they are studying, researching, and developing on your behaviors and how you move according to whatever science that they are analyzing at the time. And they always do it behind closed doors. That's the whole reason anal is in front of it. They come through the back doors. But I wouldn't dare say that to the person that is my elder in their ignorance and their lack of knowledge. I just leave it as so now. Smile it off and keep on moving. Yes, sometimes we can overanalyze. That's when we were in flesh. When you walk in the spirit of the most high God and you allow God to be your mind, and your mind is God's mind, it's nothing analytic. No one can analyze anything that God does. There's no analyzing. But anal is not a part of God's foundation, because if God was to show you his anal, you would surely die. No, wait a minute. He said, I'll show you my backside, but you cannot see my face. Okay, so yes, God will reveal his anal to those who are lost. You say, you ain't even worthy, so I will show you the backside, I guess. All right, let me continue reading. So, the analysis of its appearance and trajectory showed that the object was about 3 to 14 meters, that's 10 to 46 feet in diameter, depending on whether it was a comet made of ice or stony and therefore denser asteroid. Other sources identified it as a Apollo asteroid in an Earth crossing orbit that would make a subsequent close approach to Earth in August 1997. In 1994, Czech astronomer Zdeněk Sepalecha, Zdeněk Milk, reanalyzed the data and suggested the passage would have reduced the asteroid's mass by a third or half of its original mass, reducing its diameter to 2 to 10 meters. That's 7 to 33 feet. Yeah, right. The object was tracked by military surveillance systems, and sufficient data obtained to determine its orbit both before and after its 100-second passage through Earth's atmosphere. Its velocity was reduced by 800 meters per second and the encounter significantly changed its orbital inclination from 15 degrees to 7 degrees. If it had not entered such a grazing angle, this meteoroid would have lost all its velocity in the upper atmosphere, possibly ending in an airburst. Any remnant would have fallen at terminal velocity. Okay, so that's the short that they have about that, but it's on its way back. All right, now I want to read a little bit about what's going on in Federal Register. So, what I decided to do is go to August 10th for Federal Register. And here's some things they have going on that was posted when I put August 10th. See here? 13 documents in public inspection come up. Pacific halibut fisheries catch sharing plan in season action. I told you a lot of this is coded and a lot of it isn't. This one is a meeting by the Defense Department for Thursday, August the August 1st and August 2nd. It will be public. August 1st, they having a series of meetings. The Defense Department, 8:45 to 11:30 a.m., 3 p.m. to 4:30, and 5:30 to 7. So August 1st, they are having a Defense Business Board meeting. Look like those type of meetings where they sit around the round table and decide the war room. That's what it looks like, the war room meeting. Procedures for determining eligibility to access classified matter or special nuclear material dropped on the 23rd. And this is through the Energy Department. And it is put down as a rule. Right now, I don't feel like downloading the unpublished information. Well, I just did. I just clicked it. The SEAD, Chicago, Oak Ridge, Savannah River, Richland, Trusted Workforce, Appalachia. All right, I'm gonna leave this one alone. Whatever's in this one, in this document, I saw Savannah River, so I want to get out of it. I don't want to read it no more. Then here's another one for classified information, Department of Energy. Oh, I just did that one. Promulgations, air quality for Virginia, 2010 primary sulfur dioxide for the Giles County non-attainment area environmental protection, August 9th, 2023. But they released a scheduled publication for July 23rd for an executive order for the 25th of, hold up, let me open this one. Because this one right here, according to those dates, look like something will be going down. Clear air, Virginia, ambient air quality, non-attainment assessment, 2 major chain pollutants, Virginia, Giles counter sulfur dioxide non-attainment part, privileged law, Virginia's voluntary clear air privilege 1998, discussed 2011, 1999, disproportionately high and adverse human health environmental effects 2000. Okay, disappropriate burden 1996, registered date 2010, primary air pollution control Adam Ortiz, citation 2024, non-attainment areas, sulfur dioxide standard, publication, they published it on the 22nd at 8:45 a.m. and made it public on the 23rd. I'm trying to verify dates in here. February 1994 or whatever simulation they're about to do. 9 volts. VDEC. Sulfur dioxide. Virginia's privilege and immunity status not only precludes the Commonwealth Attorney General's 1998 opinions, 1998, regardless of the document's counterparts, federal law, danger to public, clear, imminent danger, 1995, other requirements, 2023, specific requirements to be reinstated, all other pollutants, 2010, February 2023, February 2024. All right. So I'll get out of there. National Institute, they having a meeting, kidney disease and diabetes. Generic collection, qualitative feedback, Interior Department testing and simplifying forms of generic proposed open-ended questions, submissions, Whittier, what is this? Fish and Wildlife Harassment Authorization, Alaska stock of northern sea otters. Oh, goodness. Somebody been harassing the otters in Alaska. Submissions, strains. There's a disease they releasing again, but they releasing it through the pesticides. Consultation for a strain of antivirate trichoderma. That means it's something that will affect the skin. They say some 14-year-old just died recently of something that they talked about last year, and I know I went over it. Something that they were supposed to release starts with a nefty something type of disease, and the first case of someone being affected with it just happened recently. And again, people will they will try to figure out where it came from. If you go to your federal register, it was already documented here in the federal register to come out. So that 14-year-old child being the first person to die from this disease or strain of a disease that they already had in the federal register to the parents and the families, and before everybody going some mass, your mental taking you to a place where, oh, this is worse than COVID. It was man-made. This one also was man-made. It was formed in the National Institute of Technology labs, and then they placed it in the Federal Register, letting people know that it will be released, when it would be released, and all of that. So this would be different than somebody going all the way talking about, let's go look over at China and see what they did. This one was formed right here in the United States. So as the news starts to trickle through the um, system, please note that if you take that information and type the name of that disease that just killed that 14-year-old child, and before it spreads and gets any worse, you can put a stop to, and know in advance that if you take that the name of that disease and put it in Federal Register, they mentioned it, talked about it, and said what they would do. Like I always say, anything that the government is going to do, anything science is going to do, anything that is being connected to religion, to the Bible, everything is written. Everything is written. They are not supposed to be secretive with things anymore, because we are in those last and final days. Everything is supposed to be by your choice, point blank, period. And with the right wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of studying is important, why it is placed in scriptures to study to show thyself approved unto God. So just as that disease has already done start, um did its first murder, because that's what it is. It's the first murder. That disease, they already, because it was an experiment, they already have the vaccine for it. But before any man, so those with the largest voices, or those with the, before they take and make it as if, oh, we got to figure out where it came from, who brought it into the country, and all that, it was already in our Federal Register, and it was created through WHO and National Institute of Technology, Science and Technology. So that's to squash that one before it becomes extra breaking news rushing through the system. And any president try to get up there and lie, any uh Fauci misinformation and all that, nip it in the butt, period. What else I'm supposed to be talking about? So let me get out of that one. This new strain that they have here, it's not a new strain. They already talked about it. This strain is supposed to, they using it as a study over the children, and they put in all the different departments, like the department, here it is, of energy, protection of children, and environmental health risk and safety. This is the stuff that they're spraying on the food. This disease, or this strain, they're using in the pesticides. And do I have it? Is it blowed up? There. This strain is in the pesticides. That that other virus, or whatever that is, man-made, that begins with an NEPH, they created that, and that was in the Federal Register. I know for a fact. I went over it um maybe 7, 8 months ago. All right. Come back out. What's the next one on this list? Special training experience required. Robinson helicopter. Oh, they sending out the helicopters. Silic pushover prohibition background. Background for some training on the Robinson helicopters. All right, now I'm gonna get out of this. So that's the information that I just felt like I wanted to touch on today for Federal Register. And now to the best part, where artificial intelligence, I asked her some questions. And before I go into that, I'm going to read Revelations 8. I asked her some particular questions about the word give, and she kept directing me to this name here. Now, if you go through some of my streams, you would see where I specifically always state against what some people teach, that Solomon's temple, once he captured the demons, um, then his kingdom flourished. Once he trapped them, he did not trap them; he used them. They helped build his kingdom. All of those, the 6-pointed star or 5-pointed, the pentagram, the 5-pointed star, or the two pyramids, because people say that's a 6-pointed star. That's a lie. It's two pyramids. It's the as above, so below. When you look at the Star of Solomon, the Star of Solomon's temple is not a star. It is two pyramids. That is too easy and too obvious. So Solomon's temple was based on those two pyramids. And the thing about Solomon's temple and his construction, and I've said it before, but I just didn't know about this being here, that the 72 demons were helped build his temple, and then his 700 wives, all of their demons and entities and deities, and then his 300 concubines with all of their fairies and witches and warlocks and all of that. They all built his kingdom. And at the end, before he the rights of David, who was not an original Jew, but because he turned over into the ways of God, no murdering, he didn't want to do blood sacrifices anymore. He didn't want to do that. And his trying to teach his son, Solomon said, "No, I'm good, God." God came to him twice. Read your Bible. Twice God came to him and said, "Look, you will lose everything." And he was like, "I'm fine with it." All the way up until his death, he was like, "No, I'm good. I'm wiser than you, God. Huh? I'm wiser than you, God." Twice God came to him. And it's not God allowing these things to continue to go on and on and on. It's the sleep and the spells that Solomon's temple has over the grid that was created, everything that was created out of this force from Solomon's temple. All religions and everything extend from and through this portal of Solomon's gate or his temple. Now, again, I asked artificial intelligence about giving, the word give, and she specifically twice directed me to this being. So I want to take the time to read this, all this, as much of this information as I intend, because you know how I get, for those who know me or know of me. But I'm going to read the Revelations portal of the seventh seal before I read that. The seventh seal, Revelations 8. When the Lamb had broken the seventh seal, there was silence throughout all of heaven from what seemed like half an hour. And I saw the seven angels that stand before God, and they were given seven trumpets. Then another angel with the golden censer came and stood at the altar, and a great quantity of incense was given to him to mix with prayers of God's people, to offer unto upon the golden altar before the throne. And the perfume of the incense mixed with prayers ascended up to God from the altar where the angel had poured them out. Then the angel filled the censer with fire from the altar and threw it down upon the earth. And thunder crashed and rumbled, lightning flashed, and there was a terrible earthquake. Then the seven angels with the seven trumpets prepared to blow their mighty blasts. The first angel blew his trumpet, and hail and fire mixed with blood were thrown down upon the earth. One third of the earth was set on fire, so that one third of the trees were burned and all the grass, green grass. Then the second angel blew his trumpet, and what appeared to be a huge burning mountain was thrown into the sea, destroying a third of all the ships. And a third of the sea turned red as blood, and a third of the fish were killed. And the third angel blew and the great flaming star fell from heaven upon the earth, a third of the rivers and springs. The star called bitterness, because it poisoned a third of all the water on the earth, and many people died. The fourth angel blew his trumpet, and immediately a third of the sun was blighted and darkened, and a third of the moon and stars, so that the daylight was dimmed by a third, and nighttime darkness deepened. As I watched, I saw a solitary eagle flying through the heavens, crying loudly, "Woe, woe, woe to the people of earth because of the terrible things that will soon happen when the three remaining angels blow their trumpets." That's the 10th, the 8th portal, August portal, the 810. Now I'm going to read about this Ashmed AI, or Ashmed Day. Ashmed AI, or Asmostius, that a name that I don't remember hearing of. This is what they depict in some drawings. Colin de Plancy's depicts him looking like this. That looked like the queen. Uh, that looked like the never ended story. Was it? Yeah, never ended story dragon. Yeah, that looked like the Borden's cow. Um, well, anyways, here his story here. A king of demons in Legends of Solomon and the constructing of Solomon's temple. He is a king of demons in the Legends of Solomon and the construction or constructing of Solomon's temple. He is a king. Am I sharing this screen? Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. And let me make it a little larger. Is a king of demons in the Legends of Solomon and the constructing of Solomon's temple. Again, that is not a six-pointed star of Solomon's temple. It is two pyramids. His story features variously in Talmudic stories where he is the king of Sheddim. Sheddim are spirits or demons of the Tanakh and Jewish mythology. The Quran refers to a puppet in the story of Solomon. In Surah Sad, verses 30 through 40, which is according to the Mufassirun, authorized exegetes of the Quran, referring to the demon king Asmodeus or Sakher. In Christian lore, Asmodeus is mostly known for his Deuter- Deuteronic, Deuterocanical Book of Tibet. He is the primary antagonist and disrupts the marriages of Sarah. Peter Bensfield classifies Asmodeus as the demon of lust. Etymology. The name Asmodai, Modi, okay, Asmodi, is believed to derive from the Avestan or Aisma Deva, Aisma Deu Madua, where Asma means wrath and Deva there signifies demon, while Deva Asma is thus Zoroastrianism's demon of wrath and is also well attested as much. The compound Asma Deva is not attested in scripture. It is nonetheless likely that such a form did exist and that the Book of Tobit's Asmodeus and the Talmud's Ashmedai reflect it. In the Zoroastrian and Middle Persian demonology, there did exist a conjuncted, conjunct, conjuncted form, Kashdev. Kashdev were both terms terms are cognates. Excuse me for the little tongue twisting and which call it uh stuttering. Kash Dev. The spellings Asmodee or Asmodai, Asmodi, Osmodeus, osmosis, and Osmodai have also been used. The name is alternatively spelled in the bastardized forms based on the basic consonants SMD Y, yeah, Hashmedai, Hashmedai, Hash, Smodye, Hashmodai, Kashmodai, Hamadai, Hamad, also Kamadai, Kamade, Kamade, Samdon or Samdon, son of Sam, Samdon, or Shidonai, Shidonai, Shidonai. Some traditions have subsequently identified Shamdon as the father of Asmodeus. All this coming out of Jewish knowledge. The Jewish Encyclopedia of 1906 rejects the otherwise accepted etymological relationship between the Persian Ashmadavi and Judaism's Ashmodai, claiming that the particle deva could not have become dai, and that Ashmadiva, as such, a compound name, never appears in Persian sacred texts. Still, the encyclopedia proposes that Asmodeus from the Apocrypha and the Testament of Solomon are not only related somewhat to Ashma, but have similar behavior, appearance, and roles. To conclude, in another article under the entry Aishma, in the paragraph Influence of Persian Beliefs in Judaism, The Persian Zoroastrian beliefs could have heavily influenced Judaism's theology on the long term, bearing in mind that in some texts there are crucial conceptual differences, while others there seem to be a great deal of similarity, proposing a pattern of influence over folks' belief that would extend further to the mythology itself. However, the Jewish Encyclopedia asserts that although Aishma does not occur in the Avesta in conjunction with the Deva, it is probable that a fuller form such as Aishmodias has existed, since it is paralleled by the later Pal- Pahlavi form Kashmadev. Furthermore, it is stated that Asmodeus and Ashmedai embodies an expression of the influence that the Persian religion or Persian popular beliefs have exercised on Judaism. In the book of Tabat, the Asmodeus in the book of Tabat is hostile to Sarah, Raguel's father, or Raguel's daughter, and slays 7 successive husbands on their wedding nights, impeding the sexual consummation of their marriages. In the New Jerusalem Bible translation, he is described as the worst of demons. When the young Tobit is about to marry her, Asmodeus proposes the same fate for him, but Tabat is enabled through the counsels of his attendant angel Raphael to render him Inachus by placing a fish heart and liver on red hot cinders. Tabat produces a smoky vapor that causes the demon to flee to Egypt. Mm, what? Fish's heart and liver on red hot cinder. Tabat produces a smoky vapor that causes the demon to flee to Egypt, where Raphael binds him. According to some translation, Asmodeus is strangled. Perhaps Asmodeus punishes the suitors for their carnal desire, since Tibet prays to be free from such desire and is kept safe. Asmodeus is also described as an evil spirit in general. And then it has the names here. Asmodeus to Thronpov, and I'm not going to read the rest of that. I might be reading the whole whatever. In Talmud, the figure of Ashmedai in Talmud is less malign in character with the Asmodeus of Tibet, Tobit or Tubit. In the former, he appears repeatedly in the light of good nature and humorous fellow. But besides that, there is one feature which he parallels Asmodeus, in as much as he desires turn upon Bathsheba and later Solomon's wives. There is one feature in which he parallels Asmodeus in as much as he desires to turn upon Bathsheba and later Solomon's wives. Okay. Another Talmudic legend has King Solomon tricking Asmodeus into collaborating in the construction of Solomon's temple. See the story of the King Solomon and Ashmedai. Another legend depicts Asmodeus throwing King Solomon over 400 leagues away from the capital by putting one wing on the ground and the other stretched skyward. Another legend depicts Asmodeus throwing King Solomon over 400 leagues away from the capital by putting one wing on the ground and the other stretched skyward. I wonder how much is 400 leagues. Let me see. Give me a second. I'm collaborating now, going to Solar to get a question. Ask Solar this question. How much, or what is the equivalent of 400 leagues above Earth. Give me a second. 1,200 miles. Okay, so 1,200 miles away from the capital. 1,002, and then he then changed places for some years with King Solomon. When King Solomon returned, Asmodeus fled from his wrath. Similar legends can be found in his Islamic lore. Asmodeus referred to as Sakar. I said something about that name the other day. I was like, it put me in the rocky or the stony one because Solomon banished him into a rock. After he takes his kingdom back from him, he is considered to be the king of the Deves or Ifrits. Another passage describes him as marrying Lilith, who became his queen. In the Testament of Solomon, in the first and third century texts, the king invokes Asmodeus to aid in the construction of the temple. The demon appears and predicts Solomon's kingdom will one day be divided. Testament of Solomon, verses 21 through 25. When Solomon interrogates Asmodeus further, the king learns that Asmodeus is thwarted by the angel Raphael, as well as by sheep fish found in the rivers of Assyria. He also admits to hating water. Asmodeus claims that he was born of human mother and an angel father. Mm. In the Malleus Maleficarum, in the Malleus Maleficarum by Henrik Kramer in 1486, Asmodeus was considered the demon of lust. Sebastian Michaelis said that his adversary is Saint John. Some demonologists of the 16th century assigned a month to the demon and considered November to be the month of King James was one of those. Such Asmodeus' power was strongest. Other demonologists asserted that his zodiacal sign was Aquarius, but only between January 30th and February 8th. He has 72 legions of demons under his command. He is one of the kings of hell under Lucifer, the emperor. He incites gambling and is the overseer of all gambling houses in the court of hell. Some Catholic theologians compared him to Abaddon. And you know, Abaddon is the great destroyer in Revelation. Yet, other authors considered Asmodeus a prince of revenge. Mm. In the Dictionary Infernal, the Dictionnaire Infernal in 1818 by Colin de Plancy portrays Asmodeus as with the breast of a man, a cock leg, a serpent tail, 3 heads, one of man spitting fire, one of sheep, and one of a bull, riding a lion with dragon wings and a neck. All of these creatures being associated with either lascivity, lust, or revenge in some cultures. So the thing is, everything describes him in here except for the fact that he's riding on a lion. Riding on the back of a lion, huh? Yep, that's what it is. They pretend to be lions of Judas. That's what it is. I could see that clear as day. Archbishop of Paris approved the portrait. The Lesser Key of Solomon, Asmodeus appears as King Asmodee in the Ars Scotia, where he is said to have a seal in gold and is listed as number 32 according to respective rank. He is strong, powerful, and appears with three heads: the first like a bull, the second like a man, and the third like a ram or a goat, the tail of a serpent, and from his mouth issues flames of fire. Also, he sits upon an infernal dragon, holds a lance with a banner. Amongst the legions of Amion, Asmodee governs 72 legions of inferior spirits. The Magus. The Asmodeus is referred to in Book 2, Chapter 8 of the Magus, 1801, by Francis Beret. Later depictions in Christian thought, Asmodeus was named the Order of Thrones by Gregory the Great. Asmodeus was cited by the nuns of London in the London possessions. Asmodeus' reputation for personification of lust continued in later writings, as he is known as the Prince of Lechery. In 16th century romance Friar Rush, Friar, the French Benedictine equated his name with fine dress. In 1409, Lourdes manuscript titled Lantern of Light associated with Asmodeus with the deadly sin of lust. Let me see this one. As designation, it is used within Freemasonry Masonry to represent the deity neutrally. It is also Rosicrucian conception of God as expressed by Max Hindel. In the 16th century, Dutch demonologist Johann Weyer described him as the banker of the baccarat table in hell, the overseer of earthly gambling houses, buying the souls. Wait, I done lost my spot. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait, get back here. Where am I? In the 16th century, Dutch demonologist Johann Weyer described him as the banker at the baccarat table in hell, an overseer of earthly gambling houses. In 1641, the Spanish playwright and novelist Luis Velez de Guevara published the satirical novel El Diablo Cojuelo, where Asmodeus is represented as a mischievous demon endowed with playful and satirical genius. The plot presents a rascal student that hides in an astrologer's mansard. He frees a devil from a bottle. As acknowledgement, the devil shows him the apartments of Madrid and the tricks, miseries, and mischiefs of their inhabitants. The French novelist Alain René Lesage adapted the Spanish source in his 1707 novel Le Diable Boitois, where he linked him to Cupid. In the book, he is rescued from an enchanted glass bottle by Spanish student Don Cleofas Leandro Zambulo Bujo. Grateful, he joins with the young man on a series of adventures before becoming recaptured. Asmodeus is portrayed in a sympathetic light as a good natured and canny satirist and citric of human society. In another episode, Asmodeus takes on Don Cleophas for a night flight and removes the roofs of the houses of the village to show him secrets of what passes in private lives. Following Lesage's work, he was depicted in a number of novels and periodicals, mainly in France, but also in London and New York. Asmodeus was widely depicted as having a handsome visage, good manners, and engaging nature. However, he was portrayed as walking with a limp, and one leg was either clawed or that of a rooster. He walks aided by two walking sticks in Lesage's work, and is and this gave rise to the English title "The Devil with Two Sticks" on two sticks. Also later translated as Limping Devil. I saw the name Limpkin recently, and the Lame Devil. Lesage attributes his lameness to falling from the sky after fighting with another devil. On the 18th of February, 1865, Arthur Everett, there's the Duke name again. Duke Nick. I told y'all about the Duke, the Grand Duke of Luxembourg. I'm going to go over that too. Luxembourg, the Grand Duke or Duchewa of Luxembourg. Well, look, sent President Abraham Lincoln a letter apparently mailed from Quincy. And Duke signed the letter Asmodeus with his initials below his pseudonym. His letter enclosed a newspaper clipping about an inappropriate joke allegedly told by Lincoln at the Hampton Roads Peace Conference. The purpose of Duquesne's letter was to advise Lincoln of an important omission about the history of the conference. He advised that the newspaper clipping be added to the archives of the nation. Mm. In the Kabbalah, I wonder what Abraham Lincoln said. What inappropriate joke Abraham Lincoln said at the Hampton Roads Peace Conference. Should I click it? Yes, you can. Nah, I want to stay on point. I want to click it. Dang. Abraham Lincoln. I bet it ain't going to be in here. I have to go to the National Archives probably. Wait, is this it? Peace of the whole Union. I just got stuck. Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. All right. I was trying to speed read. Okay, in the Kabbalah, according to the Kabbalah and the school of Sholmo ibn Adret, Asmodeus is born as a result of the union between Agrat Bat Mahlat and King David. Wait, what? I say who? David had Agrat Bat, a demon in Jewish mythology. And the treatise of on the left emanation, which describes Sitra Akra, meaning the other side or the side of evil, Asmodeus is described as a figure living in the third of heaven, either of heaven, if third ether of heaven. He is Samuel's subordinate and married to a younger form of Lilith. Samael is married to the older Lilith. Asmodeus is still able to inflict pain and destruction, but only on Mondays. Just another manic Monday, huh? Whoa, whoa. All right. Islam. In the Islam culture, Asmodeus is known as a demon, probably a reference to his fate being imprisoned inside a box of rocks, chained with iron and thrown into the sea, or association with his desires of the lower world. He features prominently as the antagonist of the prophet Solomon. He is sometimes identified with Ifrit, who offered to carry the throne of Solomon. In the story of Bulkia, Asmodeus teaches a young Jewish prince about the seven layers of hell. Genie Laki. Okay. Quran and exegesis. Islamic allegorical comments about Asmodeus are abundant in medieval Islam, and Asmodeus became a central figure in ex, exegesis, or the tafsir. The Quranic verse Surah 38:34, we allowed Solomon to be seduced by temptation, and we cast a body upon his seat. Then he repented. Tabari identifies the body mentioned in the verse as shaitan in both annals. See there, the analyticals, the annals of Al Tabari, as well as Tafsir. Abd al Razak Kashani comments in Surah 38, that's 11, 7, 11. 38:34, the Satan who sat thereupon sovereignty's throne and took its ring away represents the elemental earthly nature, ruler over the lower sea of matter, called Sakat, the rock, on account of its inclination toward the lowest thighs and clinging thereto, even as a stone on account of heaviness. Oh, that's an inside joke. Oh boy. Let me keep reading. Nasafi depicts Solomon as God's vicar, caliph, as a symbol of ruling intellect, whose task is to reduce the physical passions to proper obedience, else the forces will capture the mind's seat and turn into upsurping demon. Solomon's ring signifies the imperial command over the forces of nature, which Solomon lapsed into lust and idolatry caused him to lose. Attar of Nishapur elucidates a similar allegory. One must behave like a triumphant Solomon and chain the demons of nafs, or lower self, locking the demon prince into a rock before Ruh soul can make the first steps to the divine. Okay. Narrative exegesis, or kis. The stories of the prophets, Kis al Anbiya, give Ja, give various reasons for Solomon's punishment. and Asmodeus consequently temporary victory, sometimes because of acting unjustly before family dispute, or hands the ring to a demon in exchange for knowledge, while most sources such as Tabari, Umara ibn Wathima, Thalabi ibn Asakir, ibn al-Athir, I feel like I'm doing just what I'm supposed to do. Let me read it again. Umarin ibn Wathima Talabi ibn Asakir ibn al Athir. I want to know how that sounds. Let me get what you call it to read it out. No, I'll do that on my own time. Invoke the idea that one of his wives committed idolatry. When Asmodeus put the ring on his finger, he turned into a shape of Solomon and sat on his throne, ruling in wickedness, while the real Solomon emerged from his bath and not recognized by anyone in the palace, thus cast into the streets as a wandering to wander as a beggar. Finally, Solomon found work at a harbor, gutting fish. What? After 40 days of the false Solomon's evil ways aroused suspicion, and the royal minister Asaph recites some holy verses in the presence of the demon king, who screamed in rage, unable to bear the recitation, and tore off the ring. The ring fell into a river and was swallowed by a fish. The fish eventually arrived at the table of the real Solomon, who slipped the ring back on and was immediately surrounded by royal jinn, who carried him to his throne, where he and his army of men, jinn, birds, and beasts battled Asmodeus and locked him in a stone after his defeat. Folklore. The idea of genie in a bottle probably roots from the Islamic legend about the demon Asmodeus. In the story of Thousand and One Nights, the tale of the city brass refers to Asmodeus' fate after his failure against the prophet. According to the story, travelers discovered the demon locked in a stone in the middle of the desert. And the story goes as follows, according to Sir Richard Burton. Then they came upon a pillar of black stone, like the surface of a chimney, wherein was one sunken up to his armpits. He had two great wings and four arms, two of them like the arms of the son of Adam, and two were like the as they were lions' paws, with claws of iron, and with his black he was black and tall and frightful of aspect, with hairs like horse's tail and eyes like blazing coals, slit upon slit upright on his face. Oh, that looked like something I want to draw, y'all. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay. In the essay of the Arabic Tale of the City Brass, Andras Hamori relied only on incomplete versions of the story without mentioning the name of the demon. In the story of Sakai and Bulikiwa, a young Jewish prince searching for the final prophet Muhammad, Sakai is said to have reached immortality by drinking from the well of immortality. When Bulukiwa arrives from his search for Muhammad and an island, he is greeted by two snakes as big as camels and palm trees, glorifying the name of God and Muhammad. They explain that they are tasked to punishing the residents of hell. Later, on a different island, he meets Asmodeus, the king of demons, who explains the seven layers, Tabakat, and the punisher of angels, Zabaniya, who sires hell snakes and scorpions by self compilation. In popular culture, on the 23rd of May, 1960, the Tel Aviv newspaper Haboker ran a banner headline announcing the capture of Nazi criminal Adolf Ek- Ekman by Israel's security forces that read Ashmadea B. Kevle Yisrael, which translated as Asmodeus in Israel chains. In 1975, an episode of Kolak, the Night Stalker, titled Demon in Lace, Asmodeus is the antagonist. One of the main characters of Jack L. Chalker's 1979 novel, The Devil Will Drag You Under, is named Asmodeus Mogart. In the children's fantasy books series Redwall, the side antagonist of the first book series 1986 is called Asmodeus Poison Teeth, a venomous snake who threatens the creatures of the forest surrounding Redwall Abbey. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Oh, I completed it. Wow. Ain't that something? There was one more thing I wanted to go over, and then I'm going to get up out of here. Okay. So I mentioned the Dushiwa or the Dookie. And the way I came upon the Dookie today is the most recent of the Dookie. And this word Dookie is also closely related to Asmodai. This name in the Federal Register, you could go look them up if you want to. The Grand Duke of Luxembourg. I see the word lux, which is light. This person or being has been doing tariff and trade commission acts under the disguise of aluminum and steel, but since 1930. Since 1930. Am I sharing the tab? Since 1930, the Grand Duke of Luxembourg. Let me show you something. Let me like just show you how I know like this is one of those archives and forms where they speak it in code. Look at this. They focus on the cats, riding the back of the cats. VinFast Auto Ltd, Den View, Cat Eye Economic Zone, Cat Eye Islands, Cat Eye Town, Cat Eye District. This is supposed to be in Vietnam, right? They out of Los Angeles. The Grand Duke of Luxembourg. All the exchanges. The chief administrative law judge investigating unfair import investigations. Important what? Important what? Because it's not steel and aluminum. They've been importing steel and aluminum since 1930. No, who is the Grand Duke of Luxembourg? Uh, who've been operating and doing trades with all these patents. Look at that. Look at that. Look at them numbers. With all these patents since 1930. International Trade Commission talking about they putting it in the cars, but it's a notice of institution of investigation. It's a whole institute under the Grand Duke that's being investigated. Greater Light. Oh wow, I went over 2 hours. That's a some for me. And I'm gonna close on out. And again, stay and come and hang out with me as I go into final preparation for 810. Preparation for the 810 portal. As I investigate how to have a smooth transition in and through the August 10th portal. Greater light. Let's close out. Do I want to close out with no? I want to do. Oh, one more thing about that day, the August 10th. Look at which holy day is represented. Am I sharing the screen? Let me share the screen. One more thing before I go. I just remembered that because I was just going to play one of them lion songs. Look at this. World Lion Day. I didn't know this. World Lion Day. August 10th is World Lion Day. Huh? Lions are list vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. Threatened species. First World Lion Day was held August 10th, 2013. Now, I should figure out what I was doing August 10th, 2013, because every time it comes around my father's birthday, used to feel some type of way. So since then, it has been, I think I remember. I may have been not, I don't know. I don't know. Since then, it has been celebrated annually around the world throughout art, photography, cultural events, with conservation and media organizations promoting events to support lion conservation efforts. The lions of Judah don't want to be conserved, and we don't want none of your days. We don't want none of your days of the weeks. We don't want that no more. Huh? I'm sorry, we don't want your environmental research alerts, and everything else that you put. The lions with the sickle blood. Lions with the sickle blood. They tired of you researching on them. The lions want to be free too. They tired of Amsidaeus or Asmodeus, the Asmodai riding on the lion's back. We tired of them playing, talking about they is lions of Judah when it clearly shows that they aren't. August 10th is World Lion Day, something I just learned and found out today. But I didn't find out about that until after I realized that that date is a portal date just for me. Greater light. So let's play. Let's see. Remember this one?
Demonic forces, we eat through their stands. Jesus is the main lion. Tell them what they do. The power of main line, the blood resides in you. The love and light codes will finally be restored. All ye saints will witness, standing shore to shore. Lions, time to sell you, roar, take that. What thieves to sell you, or choose death. The Gog and Magog force, choose yea. Then stay on lions roar. Judah, Judah, Judah. Jesus man, lion, so you roar.
Behold, I am coming quickly. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. The Spirit and the bride say, come. He who hears, let him say, come. He who is thirsty, let him come. He who desires, let him take the water of life freely. I cannot fight the urge. Give you diagrams to flex for the leaders get discouraged. Yeah, yeah, do ya? Hit them with this dirge. Yeah, yeah, about to get what they deserve. Yeah. What do women want for was like the lioness of love. Her children were like lions, Judah lions, Judah cubs. One of her lions boomed so strong and ran through light. Prepared to catch prey and eat man of Babylonites. The nations called the hunters, trapped him in a pit. Brought him in chains to twin towers of Egypt. When Israel, the mother lion, saw hope for him was gone, she took another of her cubs, taught her to be strong in the end, yeah. Of the beginning, yeah. Forever and a day may long, in the end manifest stages, they will sing this death dirge song. Take up the sickle, tree your prince is bold.
They don't have to free me, I can free myself.
She lay among the lions fierce and cold, nurturing her cubs, their destinies framed. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray from pride to pit that pass in between the sea. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray from pride to pit that pass in between the sea. Another cup she chose hope unfulfilled. He prowled among lions, strength in his stride. Tearing prey, man eats her destiny fulfilled. Strongholds, humbled towns, they bear were worldwide. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray from pride to pit that pass in between the sea. In Babylon's cage, the first cub confined, his roar silenced mountains wept for his soul. The vine, once fruitful, now withered and maligned. East winds whispered sorrow, branches lost to burn. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray from pride to pit that pass in between the sea. Desert bound, the vine stands alone. Fire consumes its fruit, rulers' rules are lost. No strong branch remains, destiny overthrown. This sickle traveling through time at all heads cost. I will sing this to the red. I cannot fight the urge. And for echo through valleys wild and free. For the leaders get this dirge, yeah, 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 Julia. Hit them with this dirge, yeah, yeah. About to get what they deserve. Yeah. When Israel, the mother lion, saw hope for him was gone, she took another of her cubs, taught her to be strong. In the end, yeah, of the beginning, yeah. Forever in a day may long, in the end manifest stages, they will sing this death dirge song.